in 1 second. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to sit back there.
Excuse me. You might hold that white paper.
And do me one favor. Can you turn around too? Sorry, I have to get that shot too. Thank you.
And one more for this one.
But,
Can you do that one more time? I prefer the dynamo trick. You look fabulous.
this is a good color, but
Now who's that illustrious team behind you?
okay. Now I'm going to do a quick change.
Quick change. Clark Kent change.
Let me see the picture.
You all squeeze down this way. You get
Promised I would wear it for the entire council meeting. This is not part of the council meeting, this is the press conference. And actually, I didn't want to detract in any way from the presentation that we're making now. We have a great convention center. We have a great convention center hotel. We have a very dynamic convention business here in Houston. But there has been discussion for a long time about how we grow into the future. We have expanded the George R. Brown Convention Center, and there have been a few new hotel rooms added, but we really needed to take another step forward in hotel space. We needed a bookend to our very successful current Hilton Americas Hotel, owned by ultimately the city of Houston, but the asset being held by Houston First. And so the Houston First Corporation started the process of selecting the right location, the right developer, the right hotel to add to our downtown portfolio. That all came together today with the vote to go forward with the building of a new convention center hotel. And I have to compliment Houston First, the board members, the staff, everybody involved over there. This was a transparent process. It was conducted with integrity. We had really excellent companies who were interested, a lot of excitement around the idea. There were several iterations to come down to the final team that was selected, and then I know some intense negotiations to where we are today, but it is a big step forward. I'm going to, I know Councilmember Rodriguez expressed this earlier because this is in his district and he's been following the process very closely, but I'm actually going to ask Ira Mixner, who is going to build this hotel, to step forward and just talk just a little bit about what his ideas are. And you can see a model here and a conception view looking down on the hotel. Ira, talk a little bit about the company.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Parker, and thank you, Councilmember Rodriguez, and the folks at Houston First for their support. It was a rigorous process, and we're excited because as a company based here in Houston, a family company based in Houston for the last 30 years, we get to take some of the expertise that we have learned and honed in other locations and bring it home to our home city of Houston. We love the city, and we're very excited about this opportunity. What's unique here is that so much of the heavy lifting to elevate our convention district has already been put in place. The George R. Brown is, I believe, the largest convention facility in the state of Texas. We have a great headquarters hotel in the Hilton. But as competition from other cities and from throughout the United States to get the very highest quality and the best conventions and meetings and shows becomes ever more rigorous, we felt that here at Houston that we have to elevate the quality of the convention district as well. And the Houston First, through their 2025 plan, the vision of the mayor and Councilmember Rodriguez, basically came to that parallel conclusion. And based on success that we've had in other places, we proposed a 1,000-room convention hotel that would be a bookend to the existing hotel, so that together the Hilton and the new Marriott Hotel could go ahead and compete for the best meetings and shows and conventions from throughout the United States. And we wanted to add a little bit more. We're also talking with Houston First folks. I want to mention Rick Campo, chair, who did just an amazing job, and his board, and Dawn Ulrich, the president, and what she has accomplished. But together, what we see is the opportunity to get folks to say, yes, Houston now has a premier convention district, and instead of going to our competition, to San Antonio or to Atlanta, Georgia, this year we're going to bring the radiologists or the trial lawyers or the Pfizer pharmaceutical convention here to Houston. That's what this is all about, bringing great conventions for folks who will get to know the great city we have and enjoy the enhanced convention district. One particular of this is that we like to do things a little bit different and better. So we researched what could we do that no one else has done in the world before, and we decided to have the first Sky River, the first lazy river in the world, on top of a 40,000 square foot ballroom. And the Texas Sky River, in the shape of our great state of Texas, you will be able to float 100 feet in the air on Texas Sky River. You can see it illustrated right here. Why did we do this? It's going to be fun for families, for weekenders and things like that. But the main reason we did it was because we wanted to say in Texas we do things, and here in Houston better, and even in a more special way. Morris Architects, another great Houston iconic firm, is the lead architect in it, and we just couldn't be more excited. This is going to be a great project on so many levels, and thank you, Mayor, and thank you for your support.
You know, I made a commitment early on that we would hire Houston First. It's about building the bench strength in Houston, to building jobs in Houston, and it's even better when the best bid, the best proposal comes from the hometown team. We didn't have to turn to Houston First to build Houston First for this new hotel. We're open to questions. If you have any, I believe you already discussed some of these things with Houston First.
Mayor, what is
Can you
this?
just repeat your name and the title?
Sure. My name is Ira Mitzner, M-I-T-Z-N-E-R, and I am the president of RIDA, R-I-D-A Development Corporation.
RIDA is a family-owned company.
Yes.
It was begun by your
My dad.
dad, and you have your children. as
Yes,
well.
I have my daughter Laura Powell Mitzner with me, and you know, that's probably one of the great things in life, folks, is, and my son Stephen Mitzner is with me together, is to see the next generation be as talented or even more talented than you are. So that's kind of that's a dad's pride.
Hey, did you, Tony? You had a question.
I had a question.
Yes.
Mayor, what is the job input on this, and how many jobs do you anticipate going to be generated from start to finish, from the construction all the way to the finishing and then hiring on from the Marriott?
I think it was in the newspaper. We were talking about, I think it was Mayor, 1,800 construction jobs, 700 permanent jobs, but that doesn't include the spin-off jobs from, you know, the architectural firms, from the subcontractors in the community, etc. So in addition to those two numbers, we would expect several thousand additional jobs during the 26-month construction period.
And they will meet the city's MWBE goals, and there will be a labor peace agreement as well. We're open to all firms who want to participate in this process.
Are you offering them the HR 80?
Pardon?
Are you offering them the HR 80?
The 380 agreement? No. This is there's been a negotiated deal on this hotel, the details of which have been made public, but it's a unique package for this particular facility.
In terms of the public incentives, you have the city's upfront investment, if you include the tax
The
rebate.
city's upfront investment is the land, in essence.
And the cash grant, and with the tax rebates, it's about 40% of the total cost of the hotel and the parking is separate, there's revenues coming back from that. Is this a good deal?
I think it's an absolutely outstanding deal, and you can see with the overwhelming support of council that they agree. We are doing the parking separately. We receive a lot of revenue from parking, and we believe that by building the parking garage ourselves and capturing that revenue, we can use that for other things. But we surveyed the marketplace. We looked at the deal we did on the Hilton Americas Hotel and how beneficial that's been for Houston, and we put together what we consider to be a competitive package.
Two questions. One, you have a name for the Sky River. Do you have a name for the hotel?
Yes, it will be the Marriott Marquis Houston Convention Center.
So it'll be a Marriott Marquis flag hotel, just as our other convention center hotel will be.
The Grand Ballroom is 40,000 square feet.
Hang on, I got it.
Oh, I was just wondering, you know, it seems like every time we do, the city does a big project, or developers do a big project, you know, whether it's 380 or this, or any other project, there's always some sort of incentive package. Are we becoming a community where any large projects can't be done just by this alone, that they're looking for some sort of tax break from the city or they won't do it?
No. All you have to do is do a cursory search of the number of transactions that have happened downtown. There are high-rise office towers going up across the city and in downtown. We are targeting some specific niche markets. One is that we want new residential development in downtown. We've waited decades. We've talked about it. We've talked about hitting critical mass, and it wasn't happening. And so we focused a narrow incentive with a time limit on residential development downtown. But you don't see us incentivizing new office towers downtown, and those are happening. They're trading hands rapidly right now. We've talked for a long time about a new convention center hotel. We've been testing the market for some time. We came to the conclusion that in order to get this, a specific project to the caliber and quality that we wanted, that we would have to participate. And for the 380 agreements that I've done, I'm very clear, and I've talked about this publicly, there are lots of different incentives that cities can use. By choosing to use the so-called 380 agreements, we ask companies to put their own money down first, and then we reimburse. And that means that we're not writing a check to somebody to come, we're asking someone to make a stake in Houston, and then we help them after they make that stake. So I think we're being very, very judicious, and we are building the economy. A lot of jobs are going to come through the construction, and it will make us much more competitive as a convention destination.
My other question, can you give me an example of a convention that Houston has tried to get before that we might be able to get now?
Not off the top of my head. You're going to, Houston first.
Okay, thanks.
On the parking district, is the idea there with the revenues coming back, is the primary goal there increase pedestrian safety, the smaller projects like that, or is the goal maybe to leverage those funds in the parking garage, the idea of the money coming back to the area?
You're talking about the Washington Avenue
Yeah.
corridor parking benefit district that we created today. Before I come back to that, is any other questions about?
Yes,
So what's
explain
the
for
timeline? I'm sorry. What's the timeline on this project? When it will be done? Started? And exactly where will it be?
Sure. It's basically, it bookends, here you can see Discovery Green, and so you have the Hilton on the south side of Discovery Green,
And the parking garage right here.
and here is the George R. Brown, and the parking garage. And the bottom line, and what it is it bookends the north side. So we have two great anchor hotels, one on the south side of Discovery Green, one on the north side, both connected to the George R. Brown, which you couldn't ask for a better competitive advantage competing with other cities. So that's it. As far as timeline goes, right now we have to turn our architects, with this vote today, we have about a year to draw the proper quality of drawings to get this done. We expect to then go to the city for approval and for building permit. Expect to have everyone here to have the groundbreaking first quarter of 2014, and open second quarter of 2016. It's about a 26-month construction period.
Ballroom in the hotel, is that gonna be the equivalent size of the one that's in Hilton now, or is it gonna be 10,000 square feet more?
No, it's similar. It's a similar size.
All right, so you would also add that ground space in the ballroom to what the convention
Exactly right.
is, so that would expand that. So you can get a show like the MDSA show coming out of Vegas or any of the larger shows for that.
You make an excellent point, because what you now have are 2,200 rooms with great flexibility to use the George R. Brown or to do individual conventions or meetings within their hotels. It puts us, in terms of our ability to compete across the country, at just a new level.
Any other questions about the hotel?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.